See, this is what happens, though, when you completely abandon roles. A lot of people have started switching roles and no one knows their place anymore, leads to this. Everybody, welcome back to our channel. Sorry you guys, we were gone for so long. We had some technical issues and they're doing some construction and it's just a mess. Okay, the past couple of weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, it's been kind of a mess. So sorry about that, but we are back. So let's get to this. Jada Pinkett Smith. We were watching Matt Walsh. I'm gonna watch. I didn't see it yet actually, but what did he title this? Jada Pinkett Smith humiliates Will Smith yet again. She just can't stop. What did she do? When she wrote a book, you said?
There's a book that's out,
okay.
And she went. I think she was interviewed with Hoda.
Okay.
And she said that basically her and Will have been separated. Well, not basically. She said they had been completely separated for 6 years. Okay. And then she, she goes on other clips. She goes on to talk about how she doesn't know why he ruined his career to slap somebody, and she just kind of humiliates this man any chance that he gets. And then to continue it, I guess it was her birthday. Will threw her a big party. And then she goes on Instagram or one of those, and she does she puts up a video of her and Tupac dancing to Will Smith's song.
Oh my God!
And it's just like this woman she is everything.
Yeah, she's just without.
I mean, I think I watched this Matt Walsh thing, and Matt's 100% on this. I mean, this couple is everything you never want to be in a marriage. When they were back in the day when everyone thought they were perfect, I always thought they weren't because. First of all, when people really sell their marriage all the time,
that's annoying.
There's something's up there, and this whole idea that we're gonna, because that was what these stories said, that we're redefining marriage. And when anybody says that, I'm like, no, God defined marriage.
Yeah. And
he did a good job. So us redefining it only adds trouble, and this is exactly why you don't redefine marriage. It's their marriage.
Right. Okay, so I didn't know anything about the situation. I didn't know at all, and I haven't even seen this Matt Walsh thing. So let's watch this and see what Matt has to say about it.
If you're a young person, it's important to find marriage role models. Older couples who have been together for a while, navigated many of the sorts of challenges that you are facing or will face, and have maintained and strengthened their bond through it all. It's important to find people like this, and hopefully your own parents can provide that example. If not them, then maybe another relative or a friend or someone else. Unfortunately, there aren't many public figures who can fill this role for you. If you're looking for a roadmap to a healthy marriage, the celebrity community isn't the place to find it. When it comes to negative role models, the good news and also the bad news is that the supply is endless. But perhaps there is no famous married couple on earth that has been more helpful in this regard than Will and Jada Smith. That's with all due respect to Prince Harry and Meghan and John and Giselle Fetterman and Kim Kardashian and whoever she's married to this month. Will and Jada are, without a doubt, the greatest negative marriage example you could ever hope to find. If you want a happy and healthy marriage, all you really have to do is just do nothing that Will and Jada do and everything they don't do. That brings us to the latest in the Will and Jada horror story. The couple has made it back into the news this week, with Jada now on the interview circuit to promote her upcoming memoir, which is called Worthy. In any case, Jada made a personal announcement in her memoir, which came out in her interview with NBC this week. Watch.
There are so many surprising things in the book, but the thing that surprised me the most, that I actually had to reread it because I said, is this true?
Right.
Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives.
Yes.
It was not a divorce on paper,
right,
but it was a divorce. So from the year 2016, which is 7 years ago now,
yes,
y'all have been apart.
Yeah.
She can't even hide her glee. She's so happy about it.
But why is she doing this? Why is she talking about this? Like, what do we?
I mean, again, I think
I don't understand.
They make money off their.
They do.
They made money when they were trying to be the positive, new type of marriage. They were writing books and doing their going on the circuit with Oprah, talking about how they're different and how they like to do things, and they make money off that. And now they're making money when it all blew up. Now they're making money off their dysfunction.
Yeah.
And well, at least she is. Will seems to be someone who is just disappeared.
Well, it's almost like Will is the embarrassment of it all. It's like he's trying to navigate way out of it, but somehow she keeps reeling him back into it. They're both a joke when it comes to this whole marriage thing. Like, I mean, I hate being that brash, but when I see stuff like this, all I can think is, why?
Your kids are all confused.
Why do we need to know that you guys were totally separate for like? Why do you need everyone to know this information? It literally is ridiculous.
She's so happy about having being estranged from her husband. Now, first of all, someone needs to tell the interviewer that we don't need the clapping sound effects while she's asking questions. But as for Jada, she goes on to explain that she's living a completely separate life from Will and that they split up in 2016 because they were exhausted from trying. The words of a true hero. This revelation is especially humiliating for Will Smith because everyone immediately drew the connection to the slap heard around the world. And now we know that Will not only embarrassed himself in a desperate attempt to impress his wife, but that he did all this for a woman who'd left him 5 years earlier. Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth, he famously declared, but apparently that woman doesn't really consider herself to be his wife. Jada, could have kept their unique marital arrangement to herself, shielding Will from further embarrassment. But then again, she has a memoir to sell, so she decided to keep the separation a secret until she figured out a way to monetize it. Of course, this is just the latest in a long line of ritual public humiliations Jada has subjected her estranged husband to. There was another one very recently when she posted an Instagram video of her and Tupac in the 90s dancing to Will Smith's song, Parents Just Don't Understand. And it's well known that Jada still pines for her deceased lover, Tupac. So this was seen by many, accurately, I think, as a not so subtle dig at the man that she is still technically married to. And, that's what she does. She finds little ways to twist the knife. It's her specialty. There's, for example, this video from a few years ago where she decides to film herself not respecting Will or his boundaries. Watch.
Steph Carell is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh, my goodness.
If you could film me.
Sam, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just...
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
I'm about to start. I want to go ahead.
So the idea that he would do that because he looked serious.
He looked very
serious.
Posted
that.
She posted it.
I mean, this man just said, my social media presence is my bread and butter, and then she posted it while he was saying that, and this is...
when because I was thinking about, because when I saw that in his face, like I look at people's, just their mannerisms or reaction to it. See, this is what happens, though, when you completely abandon roles. So this is why this is what I'm saying, y'all, because we talk a lot about maintaining roles, and first of all, I'm not married, never been married. I'm not saying know nothing about it. I'm not going there. I don't know nothing about it. But I'm just saying the idea that we have all started. A lot of people have started switching roles, and no one knows their place anymore. Leads to this toxic people coming together and forming a toxic relationship. This is what we're seeing here. He looks completely diminished as a man.
A woman is supposed to build her husband up, and she's really tearing him down.
Yeah, she is.
You know what I mean? And like they say, I know a lot of married people will say that who you choose to marry is the biggest.
Oh yeah.
It's like the most important decision you'll probably make, because that person will really kind of make you or break you.
Yeah.
So when men just pick women because they're good looking. Or because they want to build an empire.
Yeah.
And then when that woman sees you as an equal, and then she treats you like, well, basically she doesn't respect you.
Yeah. She dominates. Like even in that little clip, like she dominates Will. Like you can tell she dominates. So he picked a woman that's very dominant,
And it's because she sees herself she's a feminist. She sees herself as an equal.
Yeah.
She doesn't, or even more so. But what she's definitely doing is breaking down the patriarchy in her house.
Yeah.
And by the way, most black women will be okay with this because most black women are the head of their family.
Right. In the black community, most black, it's true. So she's right.
They might say that this was kind of inappropriate, but I can bet you 90% of what she does is probably 90% of what's going on in most black households, even especially married ones, because for some reason in our community, black women are the matriarchy is running the black community.
Right. So this is right on brand.
Right.
That's pretty rough to watch. I think for obvious reasons. I will say, I mean, just it's. I can't imagine my own wife. I'm just trying to imagine my own wife. First of all, filming me without even asking me first. She wouldn't do that. But then if she started to film me and I said, please don't film me, and she did it anyway, and then she posted it on the internet, I would be furious. Fortunately, I'm not married to a woman who would ever do that. But this is Jada Pinkett Smith. Pretty rough. But of course, nothing. Since we're on the subject, we cannot avoid what is possibly one of the cringiest videos of all time. Nothing can possibly compare to the infamous Red Table Talk where Jada pulled Will in to have a conversation about the time when she cheated on him. Let's all relive that cringe together.
You, during that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
Right.
And it was really a joy to just help heal somebody. I think that has a lot to do with my codependency, which is another thing that I had to learn to break in this cycle. Just that idea of needing to fix and being drawn to people that need help, whether it's your health or whether it's your addictions. There's something about that childhood trauma that feels as though it can be fixed through fixing people.
Man, still tough to watch every time. I mean, imagine your wife cheats on you and you say to her, how could you do this? I'm broken, I'm devastated. And she says, well, I just wanted to feel good. Oh, okay. Well, if that was your reason, I wasn't sure what your reason was, but if it was that, then never mind. And that was actually somehow the least cringy segment of that video, but the whole thing is brutal. The cuckolded Will Smith describes his wife's affair as launching into an interaction. Why did you launch into an interaction with that man? And for her part, his wife shows no remorse and in fact congratulates herself on her infidelity by claiming that she slept with another man in order to help heal him. Then to add another terrible insult to an already grievous injury, she declares that it makes her feel good to fix people. Right. Yet her own husband is sitting there broken into 1,000 pieces. And all this frustration would build for several years until the moment when Will set his career on fire by taking it all out on Chris Rock at the Oscars. Jada, meanwhile, sits there and watches, making no attempt to stop him from walking up on stage to commit assault in front of a live audience, and also makes no attempt after the fact to defend him or come to his aid in any way. She is, in short, as I've already dubbed her, the worst wife in America, and Will Smith is, without question, the most pathetic husband in America, which is a sad reality, especially when you consider that before his wife got to work exposing and humiliating him, Will Smith was, it's easy to forget now, he was perhaps the most polished, clean-cut, marketable, seemingly together star in Hollywood. Now he's a laughingstock thanks to his wife. A good wife builds her man up, a bad one breaks him down. And Will Smith is nothing at this point, if not broken down. And that's why they are such a powerful, albeit negative example. They reveal pretty much every facet of a bad relationship. They embody everything that a married couple can do wrong. And they model one thing in particular, and that is the need for respect in a marriage, especially a man's need for respect. Jada has clearly never respected her husband, and he has never demanded respect or commanded it, most of all. And the end result is heartache and humiliation. When a man feels respected at home, he'll be happy and confident and eager and ambitious. He'll want to go out and conquer the world.
Unfortunately, a lot of people are finding each other broken. And so, not so simple when you are already a broken man, right? And then you are trying to find all of your hope in a woman. You're not gonna pick her, right? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. You're not gonna pick the right woman. There's no way. It was inevitable. He was gonna meet Jada.
I feel sorry for nobody, man or woman,
I feel sorry
that
anybody.
picks a person. This is why I don't feel sorry for men when they complain about women. I don't feel sorry for women when they complain about men because most people know who they're dating.
Yep.
They just are in a delusion and they don't want to admit it while they're all euphorically, in this love phase. But then as soon as people get married and then the real... Danielle was just showing me the other day a video. This is a good example, by the way. I wish we actually had this. Where a black man and a black woman were getting married. And when they got to the vows, the part of the vows where it says to obey, she was like, I don't obey.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that.
For worse.
For richer.
For richer.
For poor.
For poorer.
For poor.
For poorer.
For poorer. Yeah. We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling and in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
They're all
The
laughing.
crowd laughs, but who else laughs?
Husband. The groom is laughing.
And he knows exactly who he's marrying.
Yeah.
But in a few years, once she's taken his money, divorced him, got child support because they probably have one child, then he'll be red pilled and he'll be, I hate women.
And see, that's
he'll
the
not
problem.
reflect on that video.
Yeah.
But then the next video they show is this African woman submitting to her husband at the wedding, and and saying how she's going to,
full submission.
Full submission. And the whole thing is, this is how women in Africa act compared to women in America. No, let's not just look at the women. Let's look at the men
in Africa
also.
They're not
put up the man in America and put up the black man in Africa. And look who looks more serious, who's not playing. And look who decided to laugh.
Yeah.
When his wife said she wasn't going to obey him in his, you know what I'm saying? When you take yourself seriously, people then will take you seriously.
It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in.
No.
It's just that as a man, you're going to have to not allow this type of behavior. So what we're seeing is that a lot of men in other countries as a whole, because it's just part of their
culture.
Their culture does not allow a woman to lead like that and disrespect men. Their culture doesn't. And I'm not even talking about that in a abusive way. I'm saying just as a roles way. They don't mess up the roles in most other countries. We mess up the roles over here for the most part. So when you mess up the roles, you have a woman who thinks she's allowed to just speak any way she wants to her husband, laugh and laugh, everything's just fine. No.
By the way, other countries also take their religion seriously. In America, even though we have a lot of Christians here, they don't act Christian. Yeah. They go to church and they act just like the world. And you know what I mean? And this is what, you're not going to, these people sit there and say, oh, I go to church. But if you're acting like the world, you're not a real Christian. So stop talking. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is it's not, Matt is American. He married an American woman who acts like a woman. Yeah. So don't give me this, I have to go off into a whole nother country to find a woman because, why? Because you can't get serious in America. Most people in America, both men and women, are not serious people. We try to do what Will did. Redefine marriage. God planned it out the way we're supposed to do it, and we are all trying to do it. Even men are now starting to be male feminist.
Yeah. And then we're all scratching our heads as to why we have over 50% divorce rate. But when you have a race of men who are being mostly raised by women, this is what you're gonna get. I know Will was raised by basically his mother because his father was abusive, right? So I mean,
but Jada was not raised with her father,
right?
either.
And her mother was a crack addict, right? She was a drug user, and so she was messed up for most of Jada's life as well. So these two toxic people, individually toxic, by the way, before they met each other, individually toxic, found each other. That happens all the time. Of course, you attract who and what you are. So that's what happened here. And so when I see you know, here Jada's making a memoir about her life, and she's bringing up stuff she should not be bringing up. It should be, say, within their marriage for profit. It's just ridiculous to me. When I see Will cower, it's typical. We need to know our place, guys. Like, my thing is that, and you know, I can even speak about this outside of relationships. Let's just say we're not talking about relationships at all. We need to know our place as ladies and gentlemen. Like, I think we just don't know. I mean, it's like it's so foreign to us to just remain ladies. And it's foreign to a lot of men to remain gentlemen. You know what I mean? And I was like, when we come out of that, we create this kind of this. You know?
But
Marxism
Marxism really wants to destroy the nuclear family. And how do you do that? You make women.
Yeah.
You go to this equal thing where we're the same.
Yeah.
And what happens? You're going to get a divorce because there are things that men just want. By nature, and there are things that women just want by nature. When you make women into these power positions, and then you try to then get married and then try to be different, or try to, oh, we're redefining marriage because women are different and men are different now. We're not really different. We're not. We haven't changed. What's changed is the culture has changed. We think that we want something that we don't really want. There's only one type of marriage. Marriage is a biblical idea. It's God's idea.
Yeah.
It's not ours. And so any other thing besides what was in that Bible is not real. You know what I mean? And it's definitely not blessed by God. So the idea that these two people were going to get married, and he's already divorced. He's been divorced.
Yeah.
I think she might be too. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But again, these people, and when you get divorced, it's 65% higher that you're going to get a divorce. You know what I mean? Once you get remarried. You know what I mean? But the main point is that when you try to redefine something that was already defined because culture changed.
Yeah.
Then you get into a big mess. So when we compare ourselves to people overseas, it's not that they're different as far as people. They have the same blood and bones that we have. It's that they take life seriously. There are times to be goofy and there's times to be serious about things.
They don't play that game.
You run a business, time to be serious. When you're playing with your kids, time to be silly. When you get married, time to be serious. It's not sit there and laugh and joke around and then, you know, get all dressed up so you can take some Instagram photos of your wedding just so you can be divorced 5 years later.
You know, Matt also brought up something very important, is that the desires of men and women. And the desire of a man when in his relationship is respect. And the fact that there's so many women that are disrespecting, you know, their significant other, or husband or whatever, it just shows you that we're in a matriarchal kind of like driven, emotional state society. That can, and the fact that is allowed. See, I use the word allow, like men allow that. See what I'm saying? Like, I know that sounds bad to some women, but men should not allow women to step out of line like that. You know, and it's only because the reason why she feels that she can do that is because she's allowed to do that, because Will has, you know, bowed his head. He just kind of given up on the idea of man and what that means. And what it means really is to be respected.
The perversion of marriage is put on both men and women.
Right.
You know what I mean? Men ran this country for years until we had the right to vote. And slowly but surely after that, men started giving us more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And the more we got, the more the divorce rate started to go down. Single motherhood started going up. Abortion was created.
Yeah.
We all started doing this thing. And so men gave up their power, and then they gave up. We gave up a good society.
Yeah.
Women don't do well in power positions. I say that because women are in power positions right now. Look at our country. Divorce has always been around, but people were more biblically sound in past generations.
Right.
And so they took those vows seriously. And we don't take them seriously anymore because we don't look to God anymore. We look to the state. We look to our skin. We think everything is God except for God. We think that our being a woman is God. We think that being black is God. We think that everything is God, and then we think because we think that, we think we can make our own rules and do whatever we want. Freedom to get a divorce or freedom to get an abortion or whatever you think it's not really freedom, it's bondage. Because if you keep doing it, you lose a lot of your life.
Yeah.
A lot of good parts of your life. You know what I mean? Bondage is discipline. I mean, discipline is really your friend.
Right.
Sticking it out, being loyal to something or someone is very important for you. It's important for your kids, it's important for society, it's important for men, it's important for women. But we just don't see it anymore because we're all so selfish. We all want everything we want when we want it.
Yeah. She called it worthy. It's the name of her book. Are y'all gonna buy a book? Are y'all buying? Are y'all gonna buy Jada's book? Let us know. But yeah, leave a comment below, you guys. Let us know what you think about this. And yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. And we will see you guys in the next video.